and directed security agencies to intensify operations to apprehend the perpetrators and restore peace to the area. A statement issued by the State House and signed by the Special Advisor to the President on Information and Strategy, Bayo Onanuga, said the attack occurred in the early hours of Monday. The assaults also left several homes burnt, while a number of residents were reportedly abducted. Describing the incident as a barbaric and cowardly attack on innocent citizens, Tinubu said it was an unprovoked act of terror against defenseless people. He warned that those seeking to undermine the recent peace and security gains recorded in Kaduna State will not go unpunished. The president extended his heartfelt condolences to the bereaved families, Governor Uba Sani, the Kaduna State government, and the people of the state, assuring them that the federal government stands firmly with them during this difficult period. According to the story by the Sun newspaper this morning, I have directed the armed forces, the police, and relevant intelligence agencies to intensify operations across the affected areas to track down the perpetrators swiftly, secure the release of abducted individuals, and restore normalcy to the region. The president said, "Our administration has an unwavering commitment to strengthening security infrastructure, equipping response personnel, and neutralizing criminal networks attempting to disrupt the peace of the nation," he added. Tinubu also urged residents of affected communities to support security agencies by providing credible and actionable intelligence to aid timely response and prevent further attacks. I urge our local communities to cooperate with security forces by providing actionable intelligence and that would help early response efforts. The statement quoted him as saying, well, yes, that is the president. That is the statement from the president following the Monday attack, where over about 30 residents, including women and children, in Naridon village, Kamaru Ward, Kauru local government area, were claimed the lives, were reportedly killed following attack in that particular village. This is it is still one of those criticisms, that will be directed towards the president, toward the administration. It is still the same criticisms that enough of this statement, enough of this condemnation. Like they used to say that action speaks louder than voice. The president has several times, issued statement, issued directives, calling on the security agencies and the intelligence agencies to rein on this criminal elements. And it seems that the more directives given, the more condemnation said, it's like things aren't improving at all. It's like the security situation in the country is not improving. It's like things are escalating. So we need another approach. If the approach that that they have been deploying is not working, why not use another approach? Why not use another method? Why not use another strategy? If the police, the army, and other security agencies have been using a particular security strategy to fight insecurity in the country, and this strategy aren't working, so why not deploy another strategy? Okay, because you can't expect a different thing if you are using the same method. Okay, you can't expect a different result. You can't expect result if you are doing the same thing at the same time all the time. So I call on the president, I call on the security chiefs, the chief of staff, the chief of army staff, the chief of defense staff, the air chief, the police, the IGP, to sit down. The president should call these service chiefs, sit them down within the next 48 hours and give them directives, map out strategy on how this insecurity can once and for all be reduced in the country, because something cannot happen in your state. Those people have been rescued, thank God for that. And a few weeks after, or days, a week after, we'll be hearing about another abduction. So we need the deliberate approach in fighting insecurity in this country. How can this? Nigeria is not in a war that in a whole day 30 individuals will be killed, 30 lives, 30 innocent lives, 30 destinies will be wasted. These are women, children, girls. 30 destinies will be wasted for just no cause. And people are not asking questions. There is no accountability to the police in the states. The governor is not putting some things in place to make sure that criminality is reduced to the barest minimum in Kaduna State. Even before this new governor Overt came on board, Kaduna State has been a hotbed for criminal activities, for banditry, for communities being attacked. Particularly Kaduna South. That state has been a hotbed for criminality, and up till now, 8 years since Nasir El-Rufai was governor of that state, criminality, banditry, criminal activities has not, been reduced. And some of those governors, when they leave office, they start speaking as if they did something so fantastically well in during their tenure. So we need leaders to be accountable while they were in office. We need leaders to be accountable while they were in office, and that was what we did yesterday when we had an interview with the media aide of distinguished Senator Hope Uzodinma. When we had the media aide, when we interviewed him, and the man was able to roll out some of the achievements that the governor of Imo State has done in terms of road infrastructure, in health, in education, in security. So we need leaders in this country to be held accountable for while they are in office. Okay, so enough of this killing. How can 30 individuals, 30 people die within 24 hours? And no statement from the government, from the Kaduna State government, no statement from the police, known to me. Okay, so we need our leaders to take the lives of the people they claim to be governing over. We need them to take their lives seriously, because that governor in that state, Senator Ubasani, swore to protect the lives and property of Kaduna State, and 30 people died within 24 hours. Have you lived up to your responsibility in that state? No. Okay, because the oath you swore to protect the lives and property of the people, you have failed in that state. You have failed based on what is going on in Kaduna State. That area, when it comes to insecurity, the governor in that state has failed. And I stand to be questioned concerning that. He has failed because people have died. Communities were attacked. Innocent Kaduna indigenes were killed. For 30 innocent Nigerian Kaduna residents were killed on Monday. So how can you say that you've done well in your administration? How can you tell the public? So what will you be campaigning on when you'll be seeking for a re-election? What will the governor of Kaduna State be campaigning on? So we need our leaders to sit up. We need our leaders to sit up this moment that we are in this country. We need our leaders to sit up. It should no longer be business as usual. It should no longer be business as usual. It is 15 minutes gone past the hour of 8 o'clock. This breakfast show is being brought to you by Live Back Pharmacy and Stores Limited, marketers of Ogama QS Subgel and Antimalarial. Let's move to the next topic, please. To the next story. Outrage as mob rapes, tortures mother of 6 in Enugu. A 34-year-old mother of 6 from Aniri local government area of Enugu State has allegedly recounted how she was raped, brutally tortured by a mob and abandoned in a forest for 3 days before she was eventually banished from her community. The shocking account was made public yesterday by the Women's Aid Collective WACO, which said it received the woman's ordeal and other evidence while calling for justice for the survivor. WACO said the woman had endured repeated physical abuse from her husband, who allegedly assaulted both her children and her mother over a prolonged period. The organization said the woman eventually rented another apartment in an effort to escape the abuse, but her husband tracked her down. On the 9th of July 17, he brutally attacked her and chased her out of her new home, Wackle said. The rights group stated that the woman fled to the mother's house, but her husband allegedly pursued her and threatened to kill her if she did not return to his house. Out of the options and fearing for her life, she sought refuge with a male customer, a palm kernel trader, the organization said. Wackle said because the trader was married, he took the woman to a friend's house where, she could stay temporarily. However, the organization alleged that the friend conspired with another resident to rape the woman before informing her husband where she was hiding. The group said the woman's husband later stormed the house with a mob. The husband publicly raped the survivor while members of the mob restrained the trader who had tried to help her, the organization alleged. It further claimed that after taking all the money the woman had on her, the husband allegedly brought drinks for youth, men and women in the community and incited them to attack both victims. The organization further disclosed that the mob stripped the woman and the trader naked, spat on them and beat them mercilessly. Female members of the mob used broken bottles to violently shave the woman's hair, while others inflicted severe cutlass wounds all over their bodies. Wako said this kind of activity, has an extent of perpetually putting that community in the darkness. It perpetually put that community underdeveloped. So how can you unleash if what the rights group stated here until investigation are carried out to verify to ascertain the veracity of the activities? But but how can a community, how can a village, how can a society unleash this mayhem on a human being, not even a female for that matter, okay, not even a female, but in a human being, and that community expect things to go well in that community? It can't happen. Okay, it can't happen. If you maltreat your fellow human, if a community permits such thing, Okay, where are the leaders of this community? Where are the traditional rulers? Where are the religious leaders in this community? Where are the custodian of the customs and tradition, of this community? Were they silent when this thing was going on? And if they were silent, or if they were not aware of it, but what about the people? Where is the conscience of the people, for God's sake? The society is gradually growing to a society where people in that society, their conscience is dead. If your conscience, if the people in the society, if their conscience is dead, where is the room for development? Where is the room for light? Darkness will perpetually be in that community because you have blocked your conscience with an impenetrable object. So there will be no inspiration to think about development in that community if one can unleash this maltreatment on a fellow human. So I call on kudos to WACO, Women's Aid Collective, for bringing this story to the limelight, and I pray that whatever their endeavor is in ensuring that the perpetrators of this act, they are brought to book, they face the full wrath of the law, and also the security agencies to swing into action to investigate, what actually happened. Even the husband has a lot to do. The husband has a lot of torturing to do. The husband has a lot of things to go through, because you were the one that chased her out of the house, initially. No matter what somebody did, no matter the wrong, no matter an offense, if God can forgive us, how much more you human? How much more we human? If God can forgive us, how much more we human? Why can't we forgive? No matter what she did, even if she cheated outside, even if she cheated on you. Nobody is perfect as long as we are in this planet Earth. As long as we put on this earthly suit, we are never perfect. We can never be perfect in this life. Okay, so I call on security agencies. WACO should do the needful in filing this case to the police, and the police, will take up this matter. In other states, they have human rights abuse. In particularly Lagos. Lagos has a specialized agency that handles human rights abuse, sexual abuse against human rights. So if that thing is replicated in other states, it will be easy for this lady and her children to get justice. Okay, to get justice. So that is that for that story. Let's move to the next line, to the next story. This is still on the Sun newspaper. Wike Fubara has corrected his mistakes. Minister of the Federal Capital Territory FCT Nyesom Wike yesterday welcomed Rivers State Governor Siminalayi Fubara back into the Rainbow Coalition, describing his pledge of loyalty to President Bola Tinubu as a right political move, and insisting that there is no sin in politics, really. If someone realizes he made a mistake and decides to correct it, there is nothing wrong with that, Wike said during the inspection of the Inner Southern Expressway, Goodluck Jonathan Way, and service carriage ways along the Southern Park in Kaduna district. Wike said Fubara's return to the political family that helped elevate him was expected and would strengthen support for Tinubu ahead of the 2027 general elections. He had no other choice but to return to the same political family that produced him, Wike said. While welcoming the reconciliation, the minister also vowed to deliver critical infrastructure projects in the Federal Capital Territory. Asked the status of Goodluck Jonathan Way, Wike said the 10-kilometer Inner Southern Expressway, awarded in 2014 and running from the Southern Parkway and to Ring Road 2 at Galadimawa, includes 5 bridges and remains one of the outstanding legacy projects carried over by President Tinubu's administration. Oh, well, yeah, so political stability is gradually returning to Rivers State. Thank God that Fubara has come back to the fold, has come back to the Rainbow Coalition. Politicians, politicians can be A today, and within the next hour they are B, and from that B they can change to A. So what happened over the weekend? Fubara coming back to the Rainbow Coalition or to the Wiki camp is no surprise to us who have been studying, who have talked about this particular case. Is no surprise. Even tomorrow you can Fubara and Wiki can become enemies again tomorrow if all agreements are not met. So politicians, they are unstable as waters. They are in India. Politicians are interlopers. They don't have a particular place to stay. It is when their interests will be protected, that is where they stay. If they notice that their interests in this political party will not be protected, they move to another party. If they see that their interests within this political group will not be protected, they move to another political group. So it is their interest they are after. They are not after the interests of the people. All right. So that also gives warning to electorate, to Nigerian voters, to shine your eyes, think twice before you cast your vote in 2027, because who you vote for in 2027 will determine the next 4 years of this country. Who you vote for in 2027 in Lagos State will determine the progress and development of Lagos State within the next 4 years. Who you vote for as a senator in your district will determine the progress of that district in the next 4 years. So those that we produce as leaders, they are not aliens. They are among us. If you want Nigeria to be better, put better leaders. If you want Lagos State to improve, put leaders that have the ability to translate this state from what it is to something bigger. So people, I laugh when people say that what kind of leaders do we have? The leaders we have, they are among us. Those that we elect into governance, they are not aliens. When you get there, that is what you're going to do. So leaders are a reflection of who we are. They are a reflection of who we are. They are a reflection of what we'll do when we get there. So you cannot give what you don't have. Let's move to the next headline. Still this is from the Vanguard newspaper. Deregistration of ADC orders was judicial rascality. This is coming from Appeal Court. The Court of Appeal in Abuja yesterday vacated the judgment that directed the Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC) to deregister African Democratic Congress (ADC) and 4 other political parties accused of failing to meet constitutional requirements, describing Justice Peter Alifu's action as judicial rascality, impertinence. The other parties include Action People's Party (APP), Action Alliance (AA), Accord Party (AP), and Zenith Labour Party (ZLP). Recall that Justice Lifu had given the order to deregister the parties despite the order made by the Appellate Court on May 22 this year, directing him to stay proceedings in the case pending the outcome of an appeal by the parties. The Appellate Court, in a unanimous decision by a 3-member panel of justices yesterday, held that the order which the Federal High Court issued to the electoral body on June 15th amounted to a nullity. So can we say that all legal tussle within this, among these political parties have been laid to rest? So David Mark, now the candidate that emanates, the party candidate that emanates under the leadership of David Mark are now valid? Are they now valid? Are they, will they contest? I will hope that nobody from anywhere, will contest that that validity of candidate that emerged from that David Mark led leadership of the ADC. So we hope that yes, so all legal matters concerning the concerning the registration of political parties, that whether this party meets the constitutional requirement or not. We hope that all legal matters have been laid to rest so that these parties can focus, for the 2027 general elections. All right, Lagos, that is how far I can go this morning here. The first segment of the breakfast show here on Overt Radio. This program, the breakfast show, is being brought to you by Liveback Pharmacy and Stores Limited, marketers of Ogama, QS, Subgel, and anti-malaria. Okay, I will be back within the next couple of minutes for the conversation, wake up conversation here on Overt Radio. Thanks for staying with us, for spending this